Chapter 23. The Woman He Didn't See Coming. Marcus Hale didn't expect a summons. Men like him didn't get summoned. They issued them. So, when his assistant walked into his office in New York, tight-lipped, uneasy, and placed a folder on his desk, he barely glanced at it. "What is it?" he asked, not looking up. "Legal notice," she said carefully. "From a Lilly Hart." That made him pause. Slowly, he looked up. Lilly Hart, he repeated, testing the name, like it might reveal something more on its own. His eyes dropped to the folder, opened it, and for the first time in a long time. Marcus Hale stopped smiling. Fort Lauderdale. 2 days later. The room wasn't a courtroom, not officially, but it might as well have been. A high-rise conference room overlooking the water, floor-to-ceiling glass, a long polished table dividing the space like a line drawn in stone. On one side, Mark Hale, impeccable as ever, composed, untouchable. On the other, Lilly, calm, precise, unshaken. Ronan sat beside her, quieter than usual, but not withdrawn. Watching, learning, trusting, that alone didn't go unnoticed. Marcus leaned back in his chair, studying Lilly like she was an interesting inconvenience. "You went through a lot of trouble to get my attention," he said smoothly. Lilly didn't react. "I don't do anything halfway," she replied. A flicker of amusement crossed his face. "I can see that." His gaze shifted briefly to Ronan. "I assume this is about my son's unfortunate situation." "Not unfortunate," Lilly corrected. "Engineered." That landed, not loudly, but precisely. Marcus's expression didn't change, but his eyes sharpened. "Careful," he said. "That's a serious accusation." "Good," she said. "It's because I don't make them lightly." Silence stretched across the table. Controlled, measured. Then, Lilly reached forward, sliding a tablet across the surface. "Let's not waste time." Marcus glanced down at it, pressed play. The room filled with his own voice. "Delay the shipment. The timeline collapses. He won't recover." The video ended. Silence, but this time, it wasn't controlled. It was charged. Marcus didn't move right away, didn't react. Then slowly, he leaned back, his hands folded and smiled. But it wasn't the same smile as before. "You think this is enough?" he asked. Lilly didn't miss a beat. "No," she said, "but it's more than you're used to people having." Ronan felt it then. The shift. The power dynamic is tilting, just slightly. Marcus tilted his head. "Even if I entertain this theory, what exactly do you think you can do with it?" Lilly's expression remained steady. "Several things," she said, and she stood, not dramatically, just enough to change the energy in the room. "Option 1, she began, her voice calm but cutting. "We file a civil suit for tortious interference with business relations. You intentionally disrupted contractual performance for financial or personal gain." Marcus's jaw tightened, barely. "Option 2, she continued, "we pursue discovery. Subpoena communications, financial trails. Any coordination between you and the investor becomes public record." That hit deeper, because Marcus understood one thing above all: exposure. "And option 3, he asked quietly. Lilly met his gaze directly. "We don't file anything," she said. That caught him off guard. "Instead," she added, "we leverage." Silence. Ronan glanced at her. He hadn't heard this part yet. Lilly stepped closer to the table, placing both hands lightly against its surface. "You restore the deal," she said, "or compensate for its loss." Marcus let out a soft, almost impressed breath. "You're negotiating." "I'm containing damage," she corrected. "Yours." His eyes narrowed slightly. "You're assuming I care about any of this." Lilly's expression didn't change, but her voice dropped just enough to sharpen. "You built your reputation on control," she said. "Precision, clean execution, no loose ends." She tapped the tablet lightly. "This is a loose end." Marcus didn't respond, but something in his stillness shifted. "You don't want this in a courtroom," she continued. "Not because you'll lose immediately, but because it creates a trail. Questions. Attention." She let that sit, then delivered the final strike. And attention, she said quietly, is the one thing men like you avoid when you don't control the narrative. That landed hard. For the first time, Marcus didn't have an immediate response. Ronan watched it happen in real time. The man who had always controlled every room, pausing or recalculating. Marcus leaned forward slowly, his gaze flicking briefly to Ronan, then back to Lilly. "You're good," he said. "Thank you," she replied. He studied for a long time, and then a small, knowing smile returned. Different this time. Not dismissive, respectful. "You're not doing this for him," Marcus said. "Not entirely." Lilly didn't flinch. "I don't mix personal and professional." Marcus let out a chuckle. "Everyone does." "Not like you," she said. That wiped the smile away. Silence fell again, thick, heavy, decisive. Finally. Marcus stood, adjusted his cuffs. "You'll have a response," he said. Not a dismissal, not a victory, but not a loss either. Yet. He paused before leaving, his gaze landing on Ronan. Something unreadable passed between them. Then he looked back at Lilly. "You're right about one thing," he said. She waited. "I don't like loose ends." And then he walked out. The door closed. Ronan exhaled like he'd been holding his breath the entire time. "Did that just happen?" he asked. Lilly sat back down calmly, though her pulse was still racing beneath the surface. "That," she said, "was the beginning." He stared at her. Awe, respect, something deeper. "You just went toe-to-toe with him," he said, and didn't blink. She turned slightly toward him. "I told you," she said softly. "You don't have to do this alone." He let out a quiet breath, shaking his head in disbelief. "No," he said, "I really don't." For the first time since everything started, Marcus Hale wasn't the one in control. And for the first time, Ronan wasn't fighting to survive. He was fighting to win.